Call me crazy, and I probably am, but I'm beginning to think that Solo Sikoa might just have a chance at dethroning Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. We're going to get into that and more today on Allison Analysis, the show where I rate wrestling shows using only emojis in an idea which probably worked better in my head, but we're in too deep now. Cody started off SmackDown asking us what we want to talk about. I simply replied Arsenal's title chances for next season, and he, as always, ignored me and just started waffling on about Randy Orton. It actually was a really good promo, to be honest with you. Cody, he showed a lot of passion talking about Randy Orton. I mean, he is brilliant at promos. It's just the what do you want to talk about thing is just... It's too cliche for me at this point, but it really was a great promo. The way he spoke about Randy was brilliant. And then out came A-Town Down Under. They started blaming Cody for getting beat up last week. Cody just wasn't really having it and he just went full Homelander. He was like, okay, well, I'll just take you out. And that's what he did. No remorse. This guy just becomes more like a heel by the week. But this was a really fun way to open SmackDown. Great promo from Cody. Fun opening. Nothing too special, but it'll get a thumbs up. Up next with Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes in a match which is best described by the word fun. Very simply, fun. I mean, this is barely a hot take, but both of these guys are massively underrated, and to see them, have some time to just go at it on SmackDown, it was a lot of fun. The match structure actually, to me, felt a lot like a WWE Speed-esque match, which is quite ironic considering Andrade is the Speed champion. But yeah, it did its job. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, Carmelo Hayes did take the loss, which I'm not overly happy about, but one of these guys had to take a loss. Perhaps they have some big plans for Andrade. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully this wasn't just a random win and they've got nothing planned here, but overall I'll give this match a subtle round of applause. Up next, we had one of those, I guess, face-to-face exchanges, which are like over the cameras, which I've never properly understood, like what the point of it is. Like, why don't they just do it in the ring? But it doesn't matter because this was fiery. Bayley and Nia Jax just went at each other. Bayley was calling Nia Jax clumsy, blaming her for injuries. It was just really quite funny. In 2 minutes, I did not expect this to get as heated as it is, and Bayley just gave no cares. She just did not care. She chose violence. She chose violence on Nia Jax. Thoroughly entertaining segment. I'll give it a subtle round of applause too, actually. Bianca Belair then took on Chelsea Green, and unsurprisingly, it was a bit of I wouldn't say a squash match, but a very short match. Yeah, to be fair, it's not fair to call it a squash match at all, because Chelsea Green had a lot of reversals, got a bit of action in the 30 seconds, a minute that this went. It was fun for, what it was. Bianca Belair won via like a roll-up type thing in the end. Chelsea Green's fuming. But, I mean, I was entertained by this, but I always am entertained by Chelsea Green. I guess it was nothing too special. I'll say decent. But again, it was fun, and fun really does seem like the word to describe this week's episode of SmackDown, right? Nothing too special, but just fun, just enjoyable, having a great old time. Over the past few months, in my opinion, LA Knight's promo work has taken a little bit of a dip in form until last week when he came back into form and he's at his best once again. And in this promo exchange with Logan Paul, he was truly still at his best. It was brilliant. These two were just hitting each other with their best verbal shots. They were brutal. Logan was actually sending some really hard-hitting verbal shots in, but I mean, LA Knight was just shrugging them off, basically. Really entertaining between these two. And don't get me wrong, the crowd has always loved LA Knight, but over the last 6 months, it's kind of felt like they've gotten a little bit more quiet for him. But last night, they were back on his side. The arena was chanting LA Knight all segment long. And in fact, I'll consider this a money segment. Really enjoyable. Michin then shockingly defeated Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, with a little bit of an assist from Bayley when Bayley just destroyed Tiffany Stratton's briefcase. I mean, this was just blatantly a way so they can introduce Tiffany having a custom briefcase, and I'm all for that. I think it's going to look sick, and I love custom Money in the Bank briefcases. This match, you'll get a thumbs up from me. A great showing for Michin as well. Something I have noticed on WWE TV in recent months is that they are no longer scared to book babyfaces to do heel-like things. As Bayley, for example, last night, she's not really feuding with Tiffany Stratton, she's feuding with Nia Jax. But just for being friends with Nia Jax, Bayley decides to just destroy Tiffany Stratton's briefcase for no real reason when she's not even cheating in her match against Michin. It was a very heel-like thing to do. And then again, earlier in the night, A-Town Down Under just came down to the ring and Cody just decided to beat them up. They wanted to talk, he wanted to fight, he just didn't care. He went full Homelander. But I actually love this because to be honest with you, I hate the idea of clear-cut baby faces and clear-cut heels. For a few people, it works. But for the most part, nobody's either all good or all bad. It's always been a little weird in professional wrestling. So the fact that they're ever so slightly blurring the lines while still making it obvious enough to the crowd who's the face and who's the heel is something I quite like. Solo Sikoa then cut a decent promo backstage. Visually it looked very good. All the bloodline standing around him. Sick camera, all that stuff. Looked cool. In what was the least biggest shock I think we've ever seen in professional wrestling, Kevin Owens was the mystery partner for Cody Rhodes in the main event against A-Town Down Under. And I mean, this match structure really did follow the traditional heel versus face tag team. Kevin Owens was getting beaten up all match. Cody gets the hot tag in, and then it's basically all done from there. I mean, everybody did their job. It was fun, nothing too special, but I'll give it a thumbs up overall, right? It might be a little lucky to get that, but it did its job. It was enjoyable. It was fun. The crowd enjoyed it. So, I mean, I guess thumbs up. SmackDown ended with another bloodline beatdown, which was once again highlighted by Jacob Fatu, the new enforcer of the bloodline. To be honest, this will get a subtle round of applause purely for Jacob Fatu's performance alone. Plus, Cody and Kevin Owens did a great job selling this attack as well, which I don't think we can overlook. In fact, I actually do think we overlook Cody selling a lot of the time. He is brilliant at it. I don't think anybody's seriously considering that Solo Sikoa has a chance to dethrone Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, but genuinely, perhaps we should consider it. The way that they're presenting him on WWE TV, he's feeling more and more like a main event star by the week, and they are really putting a lot of stock into him right now. And the big question heading into SummerSlam is, how is Cody going to deal with this huge bloodline? Yes, perhaps, Randy Orton might have a surprise return. Kevin Owens might have a surprise return too if he was taken out again this week. But even still, there's another member of the bloodline for that. The family never stops. In a way, from a purely kayfabe perspective, the only way I can actually see Solo losing is if Roman Reigns returns during the match. But I think it's going to be after the match that he returns. So, I'm going to be honest here, I'm beginning to think that there's a small possibility that Solo genuinely wins, and the Solo versus Reigns feud is for the WWE Championship. Now, don't get my words twisted, I am not predicting Solo to win. I am still predicting Cody Rhodes. But I do think that chance is slowly creeping up week by week. Overall, this episode of SmackDown didn't really have anything must watch, but was fun. It was an easy watch, so I'll give it a thumbs up. For Performer of the Night, I'm going to give the crown to Cody. He had a brilliant opening promo where he showed a lot of emotion. He then had a good showing in the tag team match in the main event. And of course, the post-match attack he sold brilliantly. Moment of the night has to go to Bayley just destroying Tiffany Stratton's briefcase for no real reason. It was a wild move, but I really enjoyed it. Match of the night is seriously a no-brainer, and that is Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. It was a really fun match, and yeah, pretty obvious. But what did you guys think of the show? Please let me know down below, and please leave a like and subscribe if you fancy it. We really do appreciate it. I'm here to do daily videos, daily news, not daily reviews, but every time there's a wrestling show, I do a review. And of course, Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast every day, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And if you guys want to see Wrestling Republic's serious review about last night's episode of SmackDown, well then check out WrestlingRepublic.com and read Kobe Galanzowski's SmackDown review, which is up there now. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.